It was possibly, it was just, I think what got to me was seeing like other babies just so chunky and always hearing like, oh, she's so small. And I was like, yes, she's premature, she's petite. Leave it alone, you know. And then also I forget like all these babies are formula fed, and there's nothing against formula. Sometimes mothers need to do it, but the formula is what chunks up the baby quickly, and I just didn't do that. So then I got it out of my head. It was just so little.
So you had a little bit of a concern due to her weight, but not her length. But you weren't overly concerned. You got it out of your head because you realized that she's fine. And
I was being a little vain, I suppose.
Well, we all can do that.
In August of 2018, in Solon Township, Michigan, a 10-month-old girl named Mary Welch died. The cause was not an accident and not an illness that came on suddenly. She died of malnutrition and dehydration in a home that had food in it. The woman you are watching is her mother, Tatiana Fusari. She is calm, she is articulate, and she is trained. She studied early childhood development. Across the table, two detectives are trying to understand how a baby slowly starved, while the adults who loved her did nothing to stop it. What makes this interview so hard to watch is not shouting, and it is not a dramatic confession. It is the opposite. It is how ordinary, how reasonable she manages to make all of it sound.
Absolutely. So, have you
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Like, in what kind of stuff?
She is fluent in her alphabet, her numbers at least up to 20.
Wow.
Although she knows other numbers like 160, but not in sequence. She's practicing her writing. She just has a little issue with the numbers. They get a little backwards, but she knows how to spell words like hi, cat, dog. She knows that Elizabeth starts with E.
She kind of do better than Jason. The hi and the cat and dog part. So does a doctor that she sees, does she have a primary doctor?
Not anymore. We did have. She's great and everything. We just we only go if there's an issue, and there just hasn't been.
Well, good.
When she was 2.
Okay. And what was that for?
A checkup.
Do you know what clinic he's with?
It's his own practice.
Okay.
I know it's in Rockford.
You remember where in Rockford? Okay, that's all right. No big deal. So, she was there for her 2-year checkup. Was she ever there prior to the 2-year checkup?
Yes.
For what time?
18-month checkup.
18 month. Any other one?
No, we had her.
Okay, so prior to the 18-month checkup, she was with a different doctor.
Yes.
Do you don't remember that? Okay.
He was the one that called CPS on us because we.
What were your occasions to be with him?
Her preliminary vaccinations.
So where? Metro Barn, and then so from there. So, off the top of your head, you remember?
Maybe 6 months.
6 months.
Maybe.
Yeah, I won't hold you to it. I know it's a while ago. And so at
early enough for her to get. Early enough for her to get her vaccinations, and we were consistent with it. And then afterwards, we just did a lot of research, and we didn't feel the need to do it anymore. Dr. Williamson was very gracious with us and understanding, and she's like, you actually don't have to do that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Six times.
Okay.
We'll do 4 to 6 if you want.
Okay, and so at what visit, obviously it was probably the last visit, is when he recommended the helmet, the head shaping. But so there was never any concern about the shape of her head from 0 to 18 months?
No, that's why it was such a concern for us as to why he would just bring this up out of nowhere. And
so what was the problem with the shape of her head according to him?
He said it was off. It was just not circular. And I mean, I wasn't offended. I was just taken aback. And then my stuff found out that it's commission based with these products that they try and push. So we don't know specifically. This is hearsay.
Right, sure.
But we think that
we'll
he
accept
was trying to push the helmet. It was a $3,000 helmet for that and called CPS and said that we were being neglectful or something or other.
Okay.
And then that's when we went to doctor.
So was it the first time he ever pushed that helmet? Was it right around the 18 months? That's the first time he...
I believe so.
Okay.
Unless he spoke to Seth otherwise, but I doubt it.
I've never even heard of a head-shaping helmet.
Have you ever seen young children? It looks like some children with Down syndrome will wear it, and it like cuts here, and it cuts like that. And it's big and clunky.
Maybe I have seen that. Maybe I have, yeah.
It looks quite invasive, and I just am heavy, and I just want her to like get neck problems or back problems. She didn't need it.
Right, yeah. So, the 2-year checkup, after that we haven't needed it. How's the shape of her head?
Wonderful, you've seen her.
Yeah. So that worked out just okay.
Yes.
How does that work?
Wonderful.
Was that a choice?
Yes.
Was that like what do they call it, like a midwife or something?
Yes, it was a home birth.
Okay,
and
so how does that work? When you choose to have, first off, I mean, why did you go from being from her in a hospital and then some transformation here where you said we want to do the midwife?
Yeah. The being at the hospital was very invasive. They with me after she was born. They wanted her out of the room. They wanted us there for 3 days because apparently I pushed out a lot more fluid than they were expecting. So she coughed. I'm like, oh, we need to keep her for testing. And then I didn't exist because they just wanted to charge us more. I don't know. Conspiracy theory, yada yada, whatever.
Yeah, you never know though, right?
Exactly,
right.
You don't. So I just think they wanted to keep us there for 3 more days, and then they wouldn't like allow me to see her except to nurse, and then they were saying, oh, you can just give her food here, and don't worry, you can rest. I want to see my baby. And then they would have like WIC come in and give me information, and then you want to have newborn portraits? No, can I just go home?
Right.
So we just didn't want any part.
So that just turned you off to the...
And having a home birth right after I gave birth, Seth went out and bought me a pizza, and I ate that whole pizza. Right after I gave birth.
Bonus.
Right on my couch.
So how does the midwife work? Is that through a hospital, through a clinic? How do you reach it? How does this work?
Google.
Oh, okay.
I just searched on midwives in the area, or also there are Facebook groups like Home Births in West Michigan, Cedar Springs Home Birthing, and I just asked a lot of different women for advice.
So now, what is a midwife? Is it someone that knows what they're doing, or could I be a midwife?
You cannot be a midwife. You need medical training.
Well, okay, that's what I was wondering. So is it like actually a certification?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
To understand what happened to Mary, you have to understand what her parents believed. They had other children, and somewhere along the way, they had decided that doctors were, at best, unnecessary, and at worst, people with something to sell. Listen to how she talks about medicine, the checkups they stopped going to, the specialists they came to distrust, the helmet she was certain was just a way to make money. None of that on its own is a crime. Plenty of families are wary of doctors, but hold on to it because the same certainty that let her wave off a $3,000 helmet is the certainty that would keep a starving infant away from the one place that could have saved her.
Other than a little bit underweight, you considered her to be appropriate sized.
Yes, and
Okay.
developmentally as well. I mean, she was...
And she was doing real well developmentally.
Yeah, she was already putting her hands on the floor and just looking around. We have a play mat, and we give her tummy time. So especially on days where I have off, we'll just be playing all day, tummy time, and she'll be on her stomach, and she'll have her head up, looking around, watching the other kids play, or have table time, which is where they do their schoolwork. The cats would cuddle with her, which is adorable. She'd roll over on her back, and there's like a little balcony. I don't know what it's called. It looks like a rainbow, but it's over the head of the baby, and she can...
Oh, I have no things they dingle with?
Yeah, she reaches her arms up, and she'll grab at them and pull them down, and then like giggle at the sounds. Like she's interactive.
Okay. So you felt that she was developing good at that point?
Yes.
And you're educated in this area, so if there's anyone that should know, it would be you. I mean, probably better than us two.
I'd like to think so. Paid for all that education, it should help, right?
So, because you're educated in early childhood development, is that what you said?
Yes.
So, and where's that education through?
It started out at City College of New York.
Okay.
And my credits transferred to Grand Rapids Community College.
Okay, so then, all right, so now we're into the 6th month, and your hours changed to what?
3 o'clock in the afternoon to 11 o'clock in the evening.
And so, I know this is boring, but let's go over the new day schedule now because of the change of hours and the change. At 6 months, have you done a diet change?
Fruit, mashed up fruit, vegetables mixed with breast milk. So the vegetables include whatever we were growing, which were peas, spinach. We got organic carrots from the store. That was a little fibrous, so I mixed it in with some peas. The fruits were blueberries, strawberries, apples. Raspberries. She liked the raspberries.
So when you mix it in with breast milk, explain what do you mean by that?
Oh, so I would pump some milk in a bottle, and then we have a juicer or a blender. So I would blend the vegetables. So for example, let's do spinach.
Okay.
I blend the spinach in there with a little water, and then I pour the breast milk in there just so it was easy for her to swallow, like oatmeal.
So then she eat it with a spoon or out of a bottle?
A spoon.
Okay.
It was solid enough for either Seth or I to feed her with a spoon.
So now, at 6 months old, was she using a bottle at all anymore?
No, she didn't need to. She was still nursing.
She was still nursing?
Yes.
Okay. So then let's do this then. Let's talk about... let's go over like the daily routine of that, of nursing and feeding. So if we would say that the day starts at midnight.
Okay.
Or no, how...
She was sleeping through the night at this point.
She was?
Yes.
Okay. So what in the morning time, what would be your first feeding?
Between 7 and 8. Because the kids would wake up at that time as well, and I think they woke her up.
So between 7 and 8, she would awake, and you would feed,
I would nurse her then.
Nurse?
So I'd give the kids their breakfast, and then I'd sit down.
And probably a little bit longer now, maybe?
Yes, oh yeah.
Okay.
She would sit there and chug, and they would take both breasts to fill her up.
And at that feeding, was it just breast milk?
In the morning, yeah.
And how about diaper?
In the morning, oh yes, because she slept all night. It was typically a poop.
Okay.
But if not, it'd be a pee, of course, but it was most likely a poop.
And then when was the next feeding after the 7 o'clock one?
She still would eat every 2 to 3 hours.
She did, okay.
But the next feeding after that, so let's say if it was 7 to 8, the first one we'll do 11.
Okay.
And that's when it was solid food. So I'd start with the nursing, and then I'd give her solid food after that.
solid, the solid smoothie you just explained.
Yes.
Okay.
And it would be vegetable first, and then we'd give her fruit, because if she had the fruit first, she wouldn't eat the vegetable.
So the veggies were mixed with breast milk?
Mm-hmm. And the fruit wasn't.
And the fruit was not? The
No.
fruit was just the smoothie?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you mix the veggies with the breast milk? What was the purpose? I'm just curious.
The veggie gets a little gritty.
Oh, okay.
So with the breast milk, it helps it go down easier. Not so chunky.
And how much of that would she typically eat?
About 4 to 6 ounces.
Of each one, or combined?
Of each one. And that was even after about a half hour or 40 minutes of nursing.
Oh, so you would nurse her at 11 too?
Yes. I nursed her every chance I got. Getting solid foods, and, WebMD recommended, and just.
So then 11, actually, the first thing you do is nurse her.
Yeah.
Then you'd feed her the veggie smoothie with breast milk.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'd feed her the fruit smoothie with just a little bit of water blended with it, or just fruit?
It depends on the fruit. If it was apple, I'd have to do water with it. Strawberries, didn't need it.
Okay.
If I had a strawberry and apple, I didn't need it. It just depended.
And the vegetables was 4 to 6 ounces, and the fruit was 4 to 6 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
And so then after that, what would be the next feeding?
Another 2 or 3 hours after that.
Okay, so
it was whenever she'd ask for it, really.
Okay.
So like sometimes it would be, because we'd be outside, so we'd be weeding or just playing outside.
Did she come out with you when you were outside?
Yes.
Okay.
She loved it.
What did she do?
She'd sit in her stroller.
Okay.
She likes to laugh at the birds, and just, and then she'll start to,
That's when you like, I'm hungry?
Yeah, hungry, huh?
So, but you would have to say that, and I know that obviously that none of us eat lunch exact same time every day, but so 1 to 2 p.m. You're feeding her again.
Yeah.
And that consisted of?
The same thing.
Nursing for a half hour?
Yes. Yep, nursing first. And sometimes I wouldn't do it that long just because we had work to do outside.
Yeah.
So I'd nurse for a little bit just to appease her so she'd stop crying.
Yeah.
And then I'd sit her in her high chair and feed her her food.
So on the 1 to 2, you might have cut back the nursing a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she'd have the same amount of solid, but that would be enough for her.
Yep, 4 to 6 of each then, and that as well.
Yes, and then I'd put her down for a nap.
Yeah. And so let me back up. At the 11 o'clock feeding, well, at the 7 to 8, I'm sorry, at the 11 o'clock feeding, was there a diaper change?
Yes.
And was that, because I know the 7 o'clock one we had usually a poopy diaper.
No, there was just urine.
Okay.
She would poop again after her nap.
So the 1 to, after the nap. So the 1 to 2 was a diaper change?
Yes.
Just urine?
Yes.
Okay.
And then after that, feeding.
So nap was about when to when?
Because she hasn't napped for the day, it'd probably be about 3 or 4 hours.
So maybe, let's just say, whatever, 2 to 5, 2 to 6?
Actually, yeah, because then she'd get up and it'd be dinner time for her and the kids and for Mom and Dad, so she was good on...
So was she usually up by 5, 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Something there? Okay.
Time for dinner.
And then when she woke up, did she wake up hungry right away?
Yeah. I mean, I assumed because she would latch on quickly. And
Yeah.
I'm sure she'd refuse if she wasn't.
So when she woke up, you would be feeding her 5, 6 o'clock.
After I changed her poop.
All right, change poopy diaper. All right, now, at this point, are you getting a little more solid poopy diapers, or still running poopy
Yeah,
diapers?
there's more solid because she's been eating the chunkier food.
All right. And so based in your opinion of what you're...
Here is the part that is almost impossible to sit with. This is not a woman who did not know what a healthy baby looks like. By her own account, she was educated in exactly this: child development, what to watch for, when to worry. She tells the detectives she noticed Mary felt small, that she was, in her own words, a little underweight, and then she describes very calmly how she talked herself back out of that worry. She got it out of her head. She decided the baby was fine. Watch how gently she says it, because for months, that gentle reasoning was the only thing standing between Mary and a doctor.
Tears in our eyes when we walked in there. It was that obvious.
Tatiana, I'm going to be quite honest with you right now, okay? One parent to another, right? And I'm going to try and control my emotions, all right? I've been to a child death investigator school, and I've seen photos and images of children that have been malnourished. And I'm telling you right now, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh no, really?
Yes.
Oh.
You clearly need help too, though.
You're going to be dealing with this. This is baggage. This is something that... But all I want to know is what stopped you from seeking help? You knew something was wrong. What stopped you? Tell us the truth.
I mean, are you guys that financially strapped? I mean, what is it? Do you not believe in health care? Do you have religious beliefs? I mean, what is it?
We do have religious beliefs, and we were praying about it, and we have faith that...
When did you start praying about it?
I mean, when she was born, but consistently and heavily the past 4 days.
So 4 days ago, you started praying. What were your prayers?
Please help her gain weight. She's eating wise and it's sticking. She ate so much.
But so why
wouldn't it stick?
I have a strong faith as well, a very strong faith, and I think God answers prayers. I'm with you on that. I also think God puts people in places to help people, but we all have our own beliefs. But here's what I'm saying is that you guys knew enough was wrong to start heavily and consistently praying. Why didn't we seek help? You knew.
I just didn't say
No.
anything to Seth.
Seth had to know? He doesn't ever hold her?
Yes, but he was also very faithful and trust in God and trust that it would be okay, and didn't think we needed to bring her to a doctor.
You knew.
How long did you know this?
What the condition? It doesn't happen in 3 days. It doesn't happen in 4 days.
I think I just deluded myself. I just didn't want to believe it.
So when did you delude yourself? When did you start? When did this condition start?
I think within a month it started to become... I was a bit up and down. Her cheeks would be full and bright, and then a couple days later she would look ill or hungry, and then we're not hungry, just her cheeks wouldn't be as full as they were.
Shrunken in.
Yeah, and then...
So when did you notice that she had all her bones showing?
About a month.
A month ago.
Let me ask you this. When was the last time you bathed her?
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
So about a month ago, you noticed that her bones are all showing, right? And so, is that when you started heavily praying?
No, it was the past few days, because about a month ago it would be full, and then 2 days later it would be sunken in, but then within the day it'd be full again. But then the past few days it wouldn't fill up as quickly as it did.
But listen, here's what I'm saying, Mary. Listen, I get that, but her legs were as small as my pointer finger. So that didn't happen in 3 days.
No.
And I know that you know that, and I know that you wanted to get her help, but I'm trying to just figure out, when did this happen? I understand that maybe you started seeing some kind of symptoms a month ago, but when did she consistently lose all of this weight? When did she consistently become skin and bones?
was within the month. Because
So-
she was always just so thin. And
So within a month, so then why, when we had a month to look at her like this, why didn't we get help?
we thought she'd get better without getting help.
How did you think she was going to get better?
By feeding her and being with her.
Was she really truly eating the way that you were telling us?
Yes.
Because you know, if you want, he has a photo of her, and if you want to see it, I mean, I'm pretty sure that I explained this to both you and Seth when you were in my car with me. You know, there's going to be an autopsy done, okay? And there was a person from the medical examiner's office at the house, okay?
So we're gonna know all this, what we're saying.
Yeah.
But, and you're not a bad person. We get all this, and we get that there's a dynamic here that we're trying to figure out. There is a dynamic here. And I'm gonna tell you, I know it. I know there's a dynamic, and I feel that you wanted to get her help. I'm trying to just figure out why you didn't. What's the dynamic? What am I missing? Because you can't tell me that this Brooklyn, New York, this New York college, city college educated, Grand Rapids Community College, early childhood person didn't know that this girl needed help, but something stopped her. I'm trying to figure out what it is. What stood between you and help?
I think that I was worried about another CPS call from the doctors, and I thought that Mary would get better and it would be okay.
But at what point did you get better?
About 2 days ago. No, 3 days. 2 days.
So 2-3 days ago you thought she wasn't going to get better, so then why didn't we call then? What?
Because I thought that I was being doubtful, and
You thought you were being doubtful of Christ?
Yes. I thought I was lessening in my faith, and I just...
Is that what Seth thought too?
That I was being doubtful?
No, I want to know, out of you two, which one of you wanted to go to take her to the doctor?
I know he didn't, and I didn't for a long time, until recently it just became a little thought in my head that maybe we should, and then I was worried about CPS and about just losing faith. We've had issues with CPS before, and I just didn't want to lose this kid.
So you thought you were losing faith by thinking you needed to go to the doctor?
That I wasn't having faith in God to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel stupid about it now.
That's what we're trying to figure out. Do you think? And I'm not ridiculing this. I just want to know. Do you guys think that God doesn't want us to use doctors?
No.
So do you think God puts people in places to help us?
Yes, I do. I believe that for sure.
And you think doctors could be those people?
Yeah.
So, all still, I get what you're saying, but this is what I'm telling you. 2 days ago, I could have looked at this child and I could have said, this child has hours to live. Two days ago, I could have looked at this child and I probably would have thought this child has minutes to live. 2 days ago, if I'd have seen this child in your hands, being a stranger at Myra, I'd have snatched this child out of your hands and faced the consequences. That's what I'm trying to reason with, is that but you didn't receive the help, and you knew that 2 days ago, you just said that she was probably, what did you say, beyond help, or whatever it was 2 days ago. So what?
Not beyond help.
At what point in this illness did you think there's a good chance she's going to die?
I didn't think at all that she was going to die.
could you not think that?
Delusional. I don't have a reason why I couldn't think that. I was just being such a hopeful mom. I suppose I don't have a good reason for you. I'm sorry.
What was your conversations like with Seth?
You said a minute ago that you knew that he didn't want to go to a doctor.
Yeah, because we discussed it before. That we just
discussed her conditions?
Yes.
When was the first time you guys discussed that?
Maybe a month ago.
So a month ago is when. What did you notice a month ago? Because I'm certain you're the one, because you said that you know Seth didn't want to go. So obviously you're the one that brought up needing to go to the doctor. What did you notice a month ago?
That she was almost 9 months old and just wasn't filling into her clothing like she should, and you know, we talked about it, and you just have faith and just we'll keep feeding her like we do and keep nursing her and keep her active, and she'll get there. It's okay, she'll get there.
But let me ask you something. If Seth told you that God told him to sacrifice one of your children, would you do it?
No.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. How many conversations did you have with Seth about this?
Not very many. Maybe 2 at most, just because we didn't want to worry about it. We trusted God, and
would he get angry talking about it?
No, I think he'd be very sad.
What would happen? How would he react if you took her to the doctor anyway?
I'm not sure. Something like that has never happened.
I'm just asking you to speculate.
I think he would just be concerned that CPS would be called, but not angry. Just say, okay, just know that you took her to the doctor. Expect CPS to come to the house.
He's not an angry type person?
No.
How is he as far as emotional goes?
He's not afraid to cry. We'll just say that.
Does he cry a lot? Would you say that he wears his emotions on his sleeve?
Whose decision was it? That question runs underneath this whole interview, and her answer keeps returning to one place: her husband, Seth, and their faith. She says Seth believed God would provide, that God did not want them relying on doctors, and that she trusted him. It is important to be fair about this. These were the parents' stated beliefs, and Tatiana would later argue that Seth's control over the home kept her from acting. But a jury would hear all of it. Seth Welch was convicted of murder, and the law does not accept a parent's certainty as a defense for a child who needed food and a doctor and got neither.
Just holding her and just rocking her, and then I put her back down on her bed, and I put her blanket on her, and then I just checked on the kids, make sure they were clean in the room, and then...
Did you put any additional clothing on her when you put her back in the crib?
No, I didn't.
So what was in the crib is exactly what was in there. You didn't change anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. By clothing, I just assumed you meant what she was wearing on her. That was left on her. I covered her up fully, and I added her little head blanket.
What do you mean you covered her fully? With clothing or a
with
blanket?
a gray blanket.
Okay.
Was that blanket in the crib prior or not?
Yes, up to her knees. I wrap it around her knees down to her feet, just so there's no chance of over the head pulling. And she's never done that before anyway.
And what about this thing that you were talking about, the head pillow or whatever? Where was that
It
at?
was just a comfy blanket. It was on the side on the rocking chair.
So that's the only thing that wasn't in the crib? Was that one?
Yeah. And she had her polar bear in there, but it was by her feet.
So, when you were going through school, Jason was talking about hitting on the CPR and stuff like that. Did you receive, what other kind of like developmental training did you receive getting your education in childhood development?
Physical,
nutrition,
positive, yeah.
all that. What else?
meal plans. In terms of how much, that's why I should be eating, and I was happy with how much she was eating. She was eating so much. That's why this is such a surprise to me. And is there an actual condition that prevents weight gain?
Did you ever Google that?
No. Maybe. Maybe I did and I didn't find anything. Because I would probably know. And if a doctor was...
You would have found a lot, I think, if you Googled it. I think you'd have found a lot on that.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that you realize too much on WebMD and Google as a parent instead of actually going to a doctor? It's just an opinion question. I'm just curious.
I do.
Because you've kind of brought that up a couple times, and I'm just wondering.
If I replace it?
Well, yeah, I mean, do you kind of try to self-diagnose your children instead of taking them to a doctor? You just look it all up on WebMD and Google and try and figure it out yourself, or?
No, I do that more for myself. The only thing I actually to feed whatever age she was at the time to help her gain more weight. And potatoes, etc.
So when you were going through early childhood development education, was that to be a teacher or a preschool teacher or daycare owner, operator type? That's for, right?
Yeah, it was to be a preschool teacher.
So I know I'm sure this was addressed. So what are some of the things they told you to look out for if you did have a student that came to school and had a failure to thrive type case?
Not eating.
What physical characteristics?
Thin bones.
Like sunken in cheeks? Ribs showing. Thin arms.
Yeah.
Did you see those things in your own child?
Yes. So when you went through this education and they told you to look out for that stuff, what was supposed to be your plan of action if you ever saw a child come to school like that?
It's called Child Protective Services.
Because you had a what to report? You'd have a duty, right?
Yes.
Did you, but you didn't help your child? But 2 to 4 days ago, you knew it was really bad. Tuesday, you knew it was really bad. And so that is what prompted you more than ever to be checking and looking to make sure she wiggles when you move a door, and because of how she looks.
I did it every day regardless.
You did?
That matters.
Okay, yeah, it does matter, absolutely.
Every day, every night.
Nobody, Tatiana, for 1 second, I don't want you to think that anybody is trying to say that you didn't love your child.
No.
Okay? But I am going to be blatantly honest with you. You didn't provide the necessary care for your daughter. You didn't.
Do you think you did?
And we're just trying to figure out why.
Do you think you did right?
It's a very hard question to answer because she's dead. So no, but I tried. I fed her so much.
But what stopped you? Truly, what stopped you?
From what?
From getting her help a month ago. Was it embarrassment? Was it fear? Was it? What was it?
I think it was fear of CPS. I think that I just thought that I was overreacting, and it was just all in my head because I tend to overthink things when it's not necessary, and I just thought there was another one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And our other 2 children are just so healthy, or am I delusional about that too?
Near the end, a detective says the thing the whole room has been circling. He tells her plainly that nobody thinks she did not love her daughter, and then that she did not provide the care that daughter needed. She had been trained, professionally, to recognize a starving child. Asked to list the warning signs, she can. Asked whether she saw them in her own baby, the calm finally falters. Tatiana Fusari was convicted of first-degree murder and first-degree child abuse and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The same sentence her husband, Seth, received. Mary Welch was 10 months old. She is the reason this tape exists and the reason it is worth watching to the end. Subscribe.